Good morning and a happy Monday. We are starting out with dense fog as a primary concern across both sides of the lake and in Mississippi. So something to keep in mind as you may be hitting the road shortly. Of course, once the sun comes up, we'll see improvements. But a dense fog advisory is issued. You can see that thin layer over the bridge here as we look on to the downtown area. And we'll continue with temperatures, of course, rising quickly into the 60s and 70s. But right now our temperatures and dew points are matching up. So you'll notice not only Louisiana, but also Mississippi, well inland, has this dense fog advisory in place. And it's rare that we see a lot of fog developing when it's colder outside. But again, we have that perfect combination on light winds, a transition of eventual southerly flow, and then the dew points and temperatures matching up. So right now our visibilities are pretty low in a lot of spots, especially Bogalusa, Reserve over to Gonzales down towards Houma. We see a quarter-mile visibility for Kenner and a half-mile visibility for Hammond. Lee is going to walk you through some of these traffic delays here shortly. Our marine forecast overall looks pretty good other than that fog concern, and that's going to stick with us a little bit later into the afternoon over the water more than likely as well. So if you do encounter any patchy fog this morning, your low beams will be best, of course. We'll continue with these 50s quickly rising into the 60-degree range, topping out around 70 itself later on today. So we've got at least 20 degrees to go in those spots, meaning your layers will be best. But we don't have an active forecast for sky conditions anytime soon. So of course, coming off of Saturday's severe weather, big improvements there. Temperatures somewhere between the 40s on the North Shore and 50s across South Shore locations. Again, a good bit of fog developing near the water. So especially if you're traveling across a bridge this morning, make sure you add a couple of additional minutes. Those dew point values somewhere between the 40s and 50s on both sides of the lake. And we have very little winds to help transition or break up any of that developing fog. But as we get into the rest of the afternoon time frame, expect low 70s as your high forecast. So somewhere between 70 and 71 itself. We did see that initial cold front from the weekend push off towards the eastern coastline, and we'll have another one behind it that brings much cooler weather in our forecast for New Year's Day. It's developing and moving across the central portion of the United States, and you can see that drier air in place on the satellite and radar picture. And water vapor imagery is going to continue pushing east as well. So here's your forecast for the next couple hours. Overall, really lovely. We're going to continue with somewhere between those low 50s and upper 50s as we head into the morning time frame, and then 60s to 70s by this afternoon with wall-to-wall sunshine. As we get into tomorrow, your forecast will look very similar during the day, but 50s into the evening, and then we'll have that 60-degree drop-off by Wednesday. So New Year's Day itself, much colder, but here's what you can anticipate as we're watching the Fleur-de-Lis drop closer to midnight, somewhere between those mid and low 50s, and great viewing conditions as well. Now, the next few mornings are going to be a little bit colder in comparison on today. We'll see a quick jump up towards the 50s tomorrow, and then eventual 30s and 40s returning for New Year's morning and Thursday morning as well. So something to keep in mind as we head into the end of the week and continue to see that eventual forecast for high temperatures much cooler also. We'll go from 60 on Wednesday to 58 for a high Thursday. Low 60s through the rest of your weekend. No rain chances whatsoever until we get towards the weekend itself. Maybe a brief quick disturbance or two, but overall it's going to be really quiet. Here's the forecast for the entire country, staying below average for the first time in a long time heading into the new year as well. There's your 7-day. Looks pretty fantastic all around. Again, a heads up for the fog this morning. That's our primary active portion of the forecast.